This guy is having a great day. Beautiful weather, calm seas. What could go wrong? He forgot one thing. He didn't thank the god of the sea. And that is the fastest way to ruin your entire life in ancient Greece. Meet Poseidon, god of the sea. And also, and nobody tells you this part, the god of earthquakes, storms, horses, and holding the single worst temper on Mount Olympus. Everyone knows him as the sea guy. But by the end of this, you'll see why the Greeks were absolutely terrified of him, and why messing with Poseidon could sink not just your boat, but your entire city. Let's get into it. Okay, so Poseidon is one of the big three brothers, Zeus, Hades, and him. If you've seen our other videos, you know the drill. After they beat the Titans, the three of them split up the universe by drawing lots. Zeus got the sky, Hades got the underworld, and Poseidon got the sea. Now at first, that sounds like a downgrade compared to King of the Sky. But here's what people don't realize. Ancient Greece was made of the sea. Its islands, coastlines, and ports as far as the eye can see. Trade happened by boat. Food came from the water. War happened by boat. Which means the god who controlled the sea, he controlled whether you ate, whether you got rich, and whether you came home alive. So, the sea guy wasn't a minor role. Poseidon was basically holding ancient civilization by the throat.
Best draw, honestly. There is not really much to complain about for me. I am basically a cooler Aquaman.
But here's the thing that surprises people. Poseidon wasn't just the god of the sea. His job description was weirdly enormous. First, earthquakes. The Greeks called him the Earth Shaker. They genuinely believed that when the ground rumbled, that was Poseidon in a mood. So think about that. To an ancient Greek, an earthquake wasn't geology. It was a god throwing a tantrum, which honestly must have made living near the coast incredibly stressful. Second, and this one's random, Poseidon was also the god of horses. Yeah. According to legend, he literally created the first horse. Sea god, and also horse guy. Nobody knows exactly why, but the Greeks just rolled with it. And third, storms. Calm seas, or deadly waves, that was entirely his call. One bad mood, and an entire fleet of ships was gone. So put it all together. Seas, earthquakes, storms, and horses. This made Poseidon one of the most powerful and most feared gods in the entire Greek world. Second only to his little brother Zeus. At one point, Poseidon got so fed up with his little brother bossing everyone around that he teamed up with a few other gods and tried to overthrow him. A full-on divine mutiny. And for a hot second, it worked. They actually managed to tie Zeus up and leave him completely powerless. The king of the gods, beaten by his own family. But here's where it falls apart. The second Zeus was out of the picture, the rebels started fighting over who'd be in charge next. Turns out, let's overthrow the boss is the easy part. Who's the new boss is where it gets messy. And while they were busy arguing, Briareus snuck in and freed Zeus. Big mistake. Zeus was not happy. And as punishment, he sentenced Poseidon to something genuinely humiliating. He made Poseidon, a literal god, spend a year doing construction work, building the walls of the city of Troy, brick, by hand.
From ruling the ocean to laying bricks. It ain't that much, but it's honest work. I wonder what Hera and Athena's punishments are.
Hello? Anyone there? Anyone there? Don't you think this is overkill?
What? I am Dad's favorite child. Now can you get out of my room, please?
Imagine controlling every ocean on Earth and getting demoted to unpaid contractor because your coup went sideways. Poseidon never forgave the city of Troy for making him build those walls. So years later, when the famous Trojan War broke out, guess whose side he was not on? That's the thing about Poseidon. He didn't just lose gracefully and move on. Every insult went in the vault, and he always collected. Now let's talk about the thing Poseidon is truly most known for. Not the trident, not the horses, the temper. This dude held grudges like it was a competitive sport. And when Poseidon got insulted, he didn't get mad for a day. He got mad for years. Here's the most famous example. There was a brand new city that needed a god to sponsor it, to be its protector. And two gods wanted the job, Poseidon and Athena, goddess of wisdom. So the city held a contest. Whoever gave the best gift gets the city. Poseidon goes first. He slams his trident down and creates a magnificent spring of water. Incredible. Except, it was salt water. He gave a landlocked city on a hill a fountain they couldn't drink from. Bit of a swing and a miss. Then Athena steps up and plants the very first olive tree. Food, oil, wood, trade. The crowd goes wild. Athena wins. The city is named Athens after her. And Poseidon? He was so furious about losing that he flooded the entire region out of spite. A god throwing a flood because he lost a gift-giving contest. This is who we're dealing with. But his most legendary grudge wasn't against a city. It was against one single guy. And Poseidon made him pay for 10 straight years. Meet Odysseus, a famous Greek hero who just won a massive war and is trying to do one simple thing: sail home to his family. The trip should have taken a few weeks. It took him 10 years. And it's almost entirely because he made one specific enemy. On his way home, Odysseus runs into a Cyclops, a giant one-eyed monster. And that Cyclops happened to be Poseidon's son. Odysseus outsmarts him and escapes, which is great. Except now, he's just humiliated the son of the god who controls the entire ocean he needs to cross. So, Poseidon makes it his personal mission to ruin this man's journey home. Every time Odysseus gets close, bam, storm, shipwreck, lost at sea, again and again and again. For 10 years, Poseidon tosses this guy all over the map. Not to kill him, just to make him suffer. That's the level of pettiness we're talking about.
Yeah, blinding Poseidon's son? 10 out of 10 prank. 0 out of 10 life decision. Worst boat ride of my life.
The man just wanted to go home, and a god turned it into a decade-long obstacle course. Odysseus eventually makes it home. Barely. But his whole legendary 10-year journey? That's basically one very long story about not making Poseidon angry. So, let's go back to that sailor from the beginning. The one who forgot to thank the sea god. Now you understand why that was such a terrible idea. Because Poseidon wasn't just the sea guy. He was the earth shaker, the storm bringer, the maker of horses, the second most powerful god in the pantheon, and the one most likely to hold a grudge against you specifically. That's why the Greeks treated him with so much respect, and honestly, fear. Before any voyage, you prayed to Poseidon, you left offerings, you did not insult him. Because your entire life, your food, your trade, your safety, floated on top of his mood. He wasn't evil, like his brother Hades got wrongly labeled, and he wasn't the flashy king, like Zeus. Poseidon was something scarier, powerful, unpredictable, and emotional. A god who could give you calm seas and a rich life, or wipe you off the map because you looked at him funny. And when your whole world runs on the sea, you learn to keep the sea god happy. So that's the three brothers, Zeus and the sky, Hades and the underworld, Poseidon and the sea. The three gods who split up the entire universe between them. But here's the thing. These three are just the beginning. The rest of Mount Olympus is packed with gods who are just as powerful, just as dramatic, and just as ridiculous. If you want to keep going through the whole family, the next story's already waiting for you. Simplified Stories.